It's the first time that I've actually done this kind of thing, apart from open mics. And thank you, Donnie, for the opportunity. And thanks everyone that came out tonight to support me. It's like maybe 4 tables, and I'm just like very thankful. Love you all. Tonight I'm going to read you some of my poems, mainly sapphic, erotic, kinky and queer. This first one is about the first ever kink party I attended on New Year's Eve a few years back. It's about Ellie, my girlfriend, who was very new at the time, the fight that we had beforehand, and our kink play at the party, first together and then in something closely resembling a sensual orgy. This is more or less what I wore that night, and it's also where I met one of my besties who unfortunately couldn't make it tonight. I'm calling the poem New Year's Ellie, and it's in 3 parts. 1. Ellie, kid, not on your Nelly, je ne suis qu'une mère. Double triggers cocked with your hammer time. Your fragile beauty, one peripheral, ignored. I slam outside, touch earth, trees, spray anger, toe puddles, poised ugly between enlightenment and annihilation. It makes you grin, then quake, fear suppressed. I'm nearly unmoved, but as your 2 thumbs fly, tapping, I soften, redunked in love. 2. Party side, vegan booted, I bind you, real leather and celluloid. Steal your boots, part the crossy webs and your legs. You're so involved, it voids the mind. One tough cookie, gooey inside. Sober, I flip off my top to acclaim. This is real. 3. First time drunk. I've date raped drunk to myself, and why not? I greet this new year jelly-legged, hold court in fantasy's epicenter, where epicene they're lining up, and you, epic, staring me safe, holding this space for the love of strangers, my magical madrugada. This next poem is set in the shower, but it's not the shower scene from Psycho, that comes later. Again, it's about Ellie, who's trans, and it's also the first ever poem of mine that's been published in a printed book, and I call it A Wash. 26.3 centimetres away, cubicled, sparkling, you're my wet dream, my shampoo ad, or eyelashes, cheekbones, tendrils, pink lips. I'm empty, tunneled, tuned to only joy, to this splendor. Mouth open, eyes closed, you self-caress, get off on lotions, potions. Skin, hair, copping a feel of this precious new you, the nymph unhatched, in glory, near whole. This next one isn't really erotic, but I wanted to include it today for 2 reasons. First, because this is a queer venue and it's my first ever queer poem, probably, before I knew I was queer. When I was just coming to terms with the idea of my son soul transitioning, and I was really engaging with my lifelong suspicion of binary gender. What even is gender? Why do we have to pick one? And things like that. I've since come out as queer myself, bisexual, non-binary, with asexual spectrum and polyamorous leanings. And the second reason that I wanted to read it tonight is that if you enter the building next door here, across the car park, it's hanging on a canvas on the wall because it was the first poem of mine that got any sort of recognition beyond friends, family, teachers. It touches on breastfeeding and spirituality, and it's called, drumroll please, Rainbow Buddha. Peace, pax, la paix. It's an absence, a gap, that space without a breath, that calm outside the act. It's the mother suckling her child, stirring deep, subtle, hidden. And it's all of us together, community, non-binary. It's in the continuum and it's by degree. It's who we are beneath or who we were and long to be again. Okay, now from that place of calm, centered queerness, we're going to mix it up a lot and maybe even find our voices. I do a fair amount of trans rights activism because I have many loved ones that are transgender, including my son, my partner, and as I mentioned, I'm non-binary myself, which apparently counts as trans too. I wrote this poem after attending a protest a couple of weeks ago on the day that was supposed to be Fair Day, Mardi Gras Fair Day. Mardi Gras protest rally, 18 February 2024. Fair Day's cancelled, but Mardi goes on and we march, avoid Asbestos Park, down King Street, Queer Mecca, flanked by police on foot and mounted behind. Get those animals off those horses, stop police attacks on trans women and blacks. No justice, no peace, no racist police. Detour through leafy student burbs, handing round a drum and chanting strong. When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. Said, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Pride was a riot, we won't be quiet. 1, 2, 3, 4, chuck the bigots out the door. 5, 6, 7, 8, no right to discriminate. In the margins of intersectionality, genocide loiters. Free, free Gaza, free, free Gaza, free, free Palestine, free, free Palestine. Ceasefire now, ceasefire now, ceasefire now, ceasefire now. What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
You say accident, we say murder. Invasion Day is recent past, and it always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Sovereignty, never ceded. Sovereignty, never ceded. We're kids, old green left weekly guys, Bolshie unionists, gorgeous sex workers. Equal work, equal pay, sex work in the ADA. No bad whores, just bad laws. At Hollis Park we hobnob, hang, meet chosen family, old and new. Find someone a duddy in stucco digs. Leave on a high, catching comrades' eyes in street, train, humming and hoping. From the river to the sea, from the river to the sea. Gaza, Gaza will be free. Gaza, Gaza will be free. After that, here's a really short, joyful poem about Mardi Gras. parade for the very first time this year. Everyone was gorgeous. I knew so many people. It was beautiful. Like very feeling of connection, inclusion, family, and yeah, I think it may have had some impact on the subsequent events politically. I was on a protest float. Mardi Gras. At Clear Christmas, glitter falls like snow. We lionise the lustrous, plunge headlong into splendour, centre the margins, and party. Just fix up after the shower scene. We're going to switch back now for some more angsty sapphic love poems. The first one is from very early on in my relationship with Ellie, in what's called NRE, or New Relationship Energy, in polyamorous circles. And then the poems get progressively more angsty. I usually write directly from life, but the last one has a fantasy element, which my mum and Ellie were both greatly relieved about. Adora Belly Cute. My faux Ellie's belly is fofa, marshmallow, cute, and the sides of her neck you could melt there, merge and toast. Heat comes from her deep, from her real, from her earnest, but cute. Plover babies have nothing on this. Shush. Be my piece of meat. Let your scent mark the borders of our love country. Ellie Amory. My girl's not my girl. Indeed, she never was. Who will she follow on home tonight? She's anyone's. Her look, her smile, has partners like I have dandruff. Sex positive, a lot of love. Too much for one person, or even like 10. But I think she's needy and greedy and speedy. No validation is ever enough. We part at the corner, she'll miss me, she loves me, but by the next block, she'll be snugging another. So I can't be there. Well, she has her options. She's proudly an ethical slut. My girl is special and sexy and fly, a dex-powered partier, kinky and spry. She sticks me with forks till the one where I pop. I'm not from her world, I just like the odd slap. Imprint. On misty mornings, the glass fogs, I cover it with fingerprints, writing your name, draw hearts with our initials. One misty morning, you're gone. There's a knife, covered in fingerprints, fixed in your chest. And just to prove I'm bi, here are a couple more about my encounters with the opposite sex. Velvet withdrawal. I've got it bad. From your skin, you understand. So now, piggybacked on love and in love, cue the lust. And my breath jags in my throat oft times as I retrace a moment, like when your teeth were bared with animal greed and I was with you to the hilt. Sip my lover. It's raining Nuno and I quaff him straight, long draughts of frenzy until it wanes. Caught in my legs like sushi, salt deliciousness spent. That last one is about my artist lover turned bestie. things have sexy names. Art and sex are closely linked, and arty things have sexy names. Gouache, tempera, noir d'ivoire, cadmium red, Gio Sonia velvet match, and pale gold. Art and sex are closely linked, and arty things have sexy names. Vellum, hot press, Tajma sable, white foray. Vinyl emulsion, intense, flat, opaque, extra fine, serpentine, genuine. In buttoned-up days, back in the studio, was life drawing just an excuse to romp? Art and sex are closely linked, and arty things have sexy names. Primed, toothy, random, gummed, stitched, spiral, Akoya, Shinku, black hog, Liquitex, soft body, acrylic, long handle. Yes, art and sex are closely linked, and arty things have such sexy names. Just for fun, I'm going to finish off with this old favourite that you can also find on my YouTube channel, which I did at a poetry slam down the road here actually in the lounge room when they used to do them. It's called Killer Kisses. Schwack! A flying leap of a kiss smacks you on the side of the head, knocks you out. You're all so glad it did. Mwah. Once the aristocracy's classic air kiss is now reclaimed and made sweet. Tiny bird of a kiss, barely there, or were it not, would be sorely missed. Whack! For those passive-aggressive times when things could really go either way. Mwah! Must be how vampires kiss. The wicked laugh and gleam of tooth and eye. Dangerous, but sexy.
All right, we're going to have